Saturday night in week 19 of the INN NBL championship season. Tonight we're on title watch in Wollongong as the Hawks take on the defending champion New Zealand Breakers. Hi everybody, I'm Steve Carpino, joined tonight by two-time NBL Coach of the Year, Brendan Joyce. And I guess, Brendan, the question is, which Hawks team is going to show up? The one that beat the Melbourne Tigers here 2 weeks ago, or the one that got absolutely hammered by the Gold Coast by 41 last week?
In a 40-minute game too, Steve. Very disappointing, but huge game against the Tigers. Two things, Steve. They're coming off a win here at the Sandpit for 2 weeks ago, and they did beat the Breakers early in the season. So there'll be a good level of confidence there, but at the same time, we've got the Breakers top versus bottom. So in answer to your question, I don't know which team's going to come out tonight. I've got no answer for you on that one, Steve.
Well, all year long we've been seeing Ayinde Ubaka playing for the Melbourne Tigers, but now he's playing for the Wollongong Hawks. He was in absolutely great form against his old club, the Melbourne Tigers. He was on song, and there was a certain bounce to Wollongong. As soon as he came out on the floor and guys were warming up, Matt Campbell was looking like he was going to get more opportunities, and they really rallied behind their floor leader.
Well, I like Ubaka, Steve. Look, he can play the one and he can play the two. And I don't want to refer to him as a point guard or as a two guard. He's just an excellent guard. He can score coming off those on balls. He can get into the paint, create, and that's what makes him a great player. I think he's a great addition for the Hawks. He's exactly what they needed. But you know what, Steve? The other guys have got to step up. Reece Martin's got to step up. It's time now. Sav's got to step up. Oscar Foreman and Larry Davis, they've got to get some wins on the board. Ubaka's certainly helped him, been a great addition, but these guys have to step up.
Yeah, he needs some help. I spoke to him before the game, and I asked him about the challenges of playing the top team.
It's going to be tough. Definitely a challenge. But earlier in the year, and when I wasn't here, they did a great job against them, and just want to do the same things we did and try to get a win.
Against the good teams, you seem to play really well. Is it just one of those things you'd like to rise to the challenge?
I think so. I mean, you have to step up, you know. I mean, the good players have to step up when they're being challenged. It's definitely going to be a challenge. They have a great point guard, great all-around team. Everybody's going to have to step up.
When you're playing against one of the better point guards or one of the better imports in the competition, does that get you more focused?
Definitely. I mean, sometimes you tend to back off, but when you're playing a good import, I mean, you want to kind of go at them a little bit more than you usually do. Try to get the win, ultimately.
And tonight, what do you guys got to do to win?
I think rebound. I mean, we've been okay on the board so far, but I mean, they have Mika, Dylan Boucher down there, just they relentless on the boards. We have to get the ball and go, and we'll have a chance if we rebound.
Well, Wollongong have started the same five all year long. Brendan, I got some good news for you. They're mixing it up.
Finally got a change, but it's due to an injury, Steve. Matty Campbell's out tonight. But I like this starting lineup. We've got Ayinde Ubaka in the one spot, Reece Martin playing the two spot, two ball carriers, which I think will work well against the New Zealand Breakers. Glenn Saville in the three spot. And what he was talking about, Ayinde, was rebounding. Oscar Foreman and Larry Davidson are perimeter players. They need to rebound more. Oscar's playing the four and Davidson's playing the five spot, Steve.
We'll have a look at the New Zealand Breakers lineup. It's a very good one. Cedric Jackson was the NBL's Player of the Week last week. Just missed out on a triple-double. Daryl Carletto's having an outstanding year after all those years with the Melbourne Tigers. Abercrombie's been the NBL Player of the Week. Gary Wilkinson has been Player of the Week a couple of times in the last couple of years. And of course, Mika Bacona, the hardest working man in the competition. He is always super tough on the boards. I spoke to Andre Lamanis before the game, and I asked him, what does the best team in the league have to worry about?
I guess for us it's consistency and continuing to get better. There's obviously things that we can continue to improve on, and you know, we need to come out and have good, solid performances. I think we've certainly grown over this last month, particularly at the offensive end. I think we're starting to find our synergy there, and it's a case of trying to continue to get better.
A team against like Wollongong, a team that's unsettled, a team at the bottom of the ladder. And what are the things you work on tonight?
Yeah, I think Wollongong certainly present their challenges. They can shoot it really well, and particularly in this building, they can get a real confidence going about them and start knocking down some really tough shots. So we've got to do what we can to try to disrupt their rhythm. And at the offensive end, again, they junk up their defenses a lot, and we've got to make sure that we're smart with how we play offensively.
Well, Andre Lamanis looking very cool and calm, but this is a game you don't want to take lightly. Wollongong can put some points on the board. They can shoot the basketball well if guys get hot, and they've got a new floor leader.
Well, and your Baker's making a huge difference to this team. And if they come out and they take this team easy tonight, they'll get beat. But, you know, the Breakers will want to stay on top, Steve. They don't want to give up home court advantage because they're looking maybe at playing the Perth Wildcats. And I wouldn't want to be playing Perth Wildcats in a 3-game series, 2 games there. So I think they'll be switched on to keep the home court advantage and should, well, I'll let you ask me later, but the other player that I think is going to have a huge impact, who's one of my favourite players already, is Cedric Jackson. So the matchup between Eubacker and Jackson is going to be an absolute beauty.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And these are the type of games that a championship team like the New Zealand Breakers, they should get.
Well, they should, Steve. And my heart goes with Wollongong, but realistically, top versus bottom, too much to lose for the New Zealand Breakers to give up this home court advantage leading up to the finals. But as you mentioned before, the Hawks are playing for pride. So there's a lot of guys that had a bad year. They've got a couple of games to redeem themselves, and they need to step up.
All right, Brendan Joyce going with his head right there and not with his heart, thank goodness, because Wollongong got hammered last week by 41. We're going to join us for the first quarter here at the Sandpit in Wollongong. Hawks and the New Zealand Breakers will be back.
Crouch, touch, and engage for an hour of in-depth rugby analysis.
As they're trying to throw these passes right on the advantage line.
Do the hard yards with TJ and his team of experts as they tackle the big issues.
That's just rubbish.
Yeah, they have to say that. I would pay money to go and watch them.
Refresh and reinvigorate your weekend rugby viewing.
Just lovely to watch.
ITM Reunion returns February 21st, live Sky Sport.
The Kia Sorento R is winning the hearts of New Zealanders with 7 easy access seats, power when you need it, and excellent fuel economy. The Kia Sorento R has ANCAP 5-star rating for maximum safety and protection. And a look that's unmistakably Kia. Kia Sorento R Series Diesel. Kia.
You and I got a line coming.
Really? You're tied to a chair and I'm here with a gun in my hand.
Hello?
I knew I'd find it.
He's like a father to you, right?
You don't do this as a dead man.
And Danny's gonna come back for me. And when he does,
He's your worst nightmare.
Now the gloves are off. Let's finish this.
What are you doing?
we can watch back.
Killer Elite. An incredible story of courage. 127 hours, coming soon to Sky Movies.
Welcome back here in the Sandpit. That's how they do things. They stand on their feet till the opposing team scores their first field goal. And for a team that haven't had many wins in this building, they have a fantastic crowd. They are so loyal and so spirited, even when they haven't had a whole lot to cheer about, as they get the first possession of Saturday night's game. Oscar Foreman on an alley-oop from Glenn Saville, and the Hawks have executed the first 2 points of the game.
Good side, Steve. Exact play they ran against the Melbourne Tigers on the first play. I'm surprised that Breakers hadn't scouted that, though.
Wilkinson. Backing down the smaller Saville. He loses control of the ball. Abercrombie shows you his athleticism on the putback.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best rebounders in the league. Reminds me of Glenn Saville when he was young. Still got to fill out a fair bit. But you look at these two, he's got the athleticism that Glenn Saville used to have. Sav might not like you saying that, but I think he'll understand it.
Larry Davison's off the mark. Mika Vakona tried to tip it to a teammate.
Yeah, one of the best rebounders in the league, Mika Vakona. As a coach, you love players like that. He's just relentless on the boards.
Back far enough on the inbound. You're too close.
Saville on the inbound, gets it to Oscar Foreman. Ubaka. Foreman gets it to Saville. Shot clock down to 10.
And the breakers get switched, Steve. Makes it tough for him defensively. Straight switch on that on ball between Glenn Saville and Foreman.
Foreman's got a rush one. He drills it with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Well, Andy Ubaka just drew his man 1 step. That's all enough for Oscar Foreman to get his shot off. Timely, as you say, Steve, with just a couple of seconds left. I like the start of the Hawks again on their home court.
Back door to Abercrombie. He throws it away to Ubaka. He waits for his teammates. Skips it to Saville. Reese Martin on good dribble penetration in and up fake. I like Wollongong when they have the 2 guards that can come off the on balls.
Well, that's exactly it. They usually start with Matt Campbell and Tyson Demos, and you know, Reese Martin usually plays the 1. As we know, Ando can play 1 and 2. He can do it inside and out. It just makes it tougher to guard, Steve. You get that when you get with the breakers with C.J. Bruton and Cedric Jackson as well.
Both teams can go with a couple of different looks. Boy, did Corletto land on his feet or what? Coming to New Zealand, just slots right in with them.
Hawks zoning up on the end-line play. Wide open right here.
Jackson proved he could knock down the 3-ball last week against the Perth Wildcats.
Well, Gordy McLeod will probably give him that. He doesn't see that as a stretch rather than allowing him to penetrate. But
Ubaka up top. Little hesitation.
Wide open look created by Ubaka.
Mika Vacona on the glass. He has the ability to put it on the floor, too.
Oh,
beautiful fake. Jackson with the rebound and a putback. Ball's knocked loose. That'll stick with New Zealand.
That's way too easy, though, to get a rebound and go coast to coast untouched. The Hawks just dodged the bullet. Lucky he didn't finish that.
Mika Vacona off the back of the rim.
Have a look at this, Steve. They're not even guarding Jackson on the perimeter.
Pass deflected by the Hawks. You said Gordy would do that with the non-shooters.
Well, what he perceives if players can't shoot, he'll sag off those players.
Ubaka goes right into the chest of Daryl Corletto. And the crowd enjoys the Wollongong lead, up 9-2. With 6:47 to go in the first. We'll be back.
And there's no one there to get the next one. You've got to tighten all that shit up. At the offensive end, again, just let the offense work. When it goes in, I need you to get your head on the ring. You're standing out here. We need that down screen and we need shit going on. We're jogging through at the offensive end rather than playing with some aggression and some energy. All right? Be aware of press break here. All right? Be aware of press break here. 2 shapes. 1, 2, 3.
Brendan Andre Lamanis clearly thinks his team is flat.
He's on the money, Steve. They've come out complacent. I said to you, really, the only way they'll lose to the Hawks is they're complacent. And what he meant by it, they're just going through the motions with their offense. Their cuts aren't hard. They're not making the right decisions. And if you give the Hawks too big a break on their home court, they'll get you. And especially with Ubaka playing.
We'll see how they respond out of that timeout. They've been in outstanding form. Saville a little too heavy with his hands in. Picks up his first personal.
Well, this is a great start for the Hawks. It's one of the best starts that we've seen this year. They've got to make the most of this opportunity.
Another deflection. Oscar Foreman Gets all the way to the rim, but he can't get the finish. Corletto pulls up for three. Again, Abercrombie on the offensive glass. Corletto won't miss two in a row. Nope.
Yeah, he's spot on, Stephen. That's what's killed the Hawks, is giving up too many offensive rebounds. At the same time, I thought Oscar Foreman should have passed that ball earlier on that last fast break to Reece Martin. Hung on to it way too early. Way too long, sorry.
Reece Martin turns down.
Yeah, Jackson's giving him the shot, isn't he?
They're giving them to each other. Davison. His fall away off the glass is short. Martin keeps it alive, but it goes to Wilkinson. Jackson.
Well, the break is just, I agree with Andre. You're watching them just on that break. Normally they would just run really hard down the floor. They are just going through the motions at the moment, Steve.
Corletto, that's good. Oh, you just cannot leave him with his feet set at the three-point line.
His confidence has really grown playing with the breakers. He's become a high percentage shooter. I've never thought he was a great ball carrier, but he keeps knocking down that outside shot. Playing beside a guy like Jackson, you've got to have a Abercrombie can put in the floor. Makes him hard to guard.
Oscar Foreman has been a good shooter throughout his career, and he gives Wollongong the 4-point lead.
Real important that he steps up. Everybody's got to contribute for the Hawks, Steve.
Corletto again. He's got it in focus. Drills a long three.
Wow, someone hits two in a row. You think you got to guard him a little bit tighter, Steve? I don't know why. Ayende, your Baker stood off him there.
And definitely a sense of urgency. Quick ball reversal to Saville. Back to Davison. Reece Martin. Can't get that to go. Saville runs it down.
Yeah, tremendous offensive rebound. Looks like they're going to give Reece Martin the outside jumper, doesn't it?
Good defense by Jackson. Shot clock down to 9. Martin to Foreman. Catch and shoot from the baseline. Hot shoot here by both teams.
Well, Oscar Foreman, he's hit 3 now. 3 straight shots. So he's feeling it out there as well.
Corletto.
Hawks switching here, we'll see. Yeah, they punish it. They throw it inside. Now we've got open looks.
Wilkinson for 3.
Now that's a smart offensive team. Throwing it to the mismatch inside, sagging in, and just hitting Wilkinson on the outside. But Wilkinson's got to step on the defensive end. If there's a knock on Wilkinson, he's got to play better defense.
Straight, Tom, straight.
Ubaka. Boy, he's going hard at Daryl Corletto.
I'm surprised he's got 2 shots there. Oh, yeah, he got it off.
So Ayende Ubaka goes to the foul line. We're all tied up at 14. Substitutions, Tyson Demos and Javon Catron.
Well, the Hawks have gone small here, and I'm a bit surprised Oscar Foreman's off. I know you want to give guys a rest, but he's on fire. Only play out the quarters, Steve.
Yeah, he actually asked for one. I saw him tugging on his shirt when he hit that last shot and turned around to the bench. I don't think I've ever hit a shot and asked to come out.
Steve, you're a hell of a shooter. I don't think did you ever ask to come out of the game, especially when you've hit 3 in a row?
Never. Never.
Wow, that's too easy.
Corletto with the floater. Man, he had the wide open for Abercrombie.
Wide open.
Saville puts it on the floor one extra time to get Tyson Demos a good look.
They're the shots the Hawks have got to knock down, Steve, if they want to continue on and keep this margin. Now, I spoke about Dylan Boucher. See that, Steve? For the game. No one's going to guard him. So you see Dylan looking to give someone a handoff straight away. He's either got to penetrate or he's got to dribble at his shooters. He's got CJ and Wilkinson out there and Corletto. But they'll give lots of help against Boucher. We've got a mismatch inside here.
It's another bad pass by New Zealand. Catron gets fouled.
Yeah, I'd say Wilkinson's come out. He's not focused. He's turned the ball over a few times. He's deep. He's been a bit soft. Andre going to the big fella, and a good move late in the game. He's not going to be tired. He's not going to get any shorter late in the game.
Alex Pledger, the 7-footer.
Last time, Pledger really stepped up in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Last time we watched him play against the Hawks. Got a lot of offensive rebounds, had some nice little putbacks. See what he does here in the next 2.5 minutes. Plus, if I'm coaching New Zealand, Steve, I'm sure Andre, he's a great coach. You've got to be looking at going to Pledger. I know he's coming cold, but look at his size advantage over Catron here, or Gruber. 3-4 inches.
He's had an outstanding year, Pledger. He gives them that different look. Breakers with 4 turnovers. They have been very careless with the ball.
And only 4 points down. Look at this. No one's guarding Boucher. He's got to get handoffs.
Corletto may have rushed out Conrad in the back of Boucher.
Yeah, it looked like Boucher got fouled.
Catron, good ball fake. Skips to the lane and lays it up.
Well, that's a mismatch at the other end. He can take Pledger off the dribble. That's exactly what he does.
Boy, he looked off about 3 defenders on his way to the hoop. Hawks have scored the last 6 to take the 6-point lead. Abercrombie gets it into Boucher. Boucher spins, travels. Lost balance in that pivot foot slid. Abercrombie and Corletto check out. Jackson comes back in with Mika Vacona. This is a very deep New Zealand team.
Yeah, Reece Martin's back in running the point.
He's guarded by Jackson, who leads the league in assists and steals.
You know, Reece Martin, he's played about 4 or 5 good games this year. His best game was probably against New Zealand away, so he'd be feeling good about playing against New Zealand.
Pull-up jump shots off the mark. Dylan Boucher comes down with a board. Tyson Demos gave his head a little bit of a rattle. Get another look.
Although Dylan Boucher is going to be given the shot from outside, he's a tremendous rebounder at both ends, on the defensive end and offensive end, and got a great IQ as a player, Steve. Again, one of those players you really enjoy coaching. Oh, look at this.
Jackson gets to the rim. He loses control. He has some words with Ray Hunt.
Yeah, he felt he got fouled on that last play.
He is super quick. Tyson Demos did a good job of making it difficult for him to get up the court. But once he got into a scoring area, he just blew right by him.
Yeah, you can't play him too tight.
Right, Dylan.
He will blow by you no matter how quick you are on the defensive end.
Catron. Nice step back. Comes up short, though. Reece Martin has the ball tipped away by Jackson. Pledger gets it to CJ.
This is the man they're going to watch.
CJ with a long bomb. That's off the mark.
Great block out by Catron. Keep Pledger off the offensive boards end.
He just rode him out of bounds. Conrad's off the mark. Pledger pulls down the board.
They're getting some wide open looks. They probably could be 10 or 12 up. They're just not knocking them down. New Zealand need to pick it up, don't you think?
CJ's looking for Pledger down low. He gets it to Vacona. Dribble handoff. Jackson, shot clock down to 2. He's got to get one up. Did he get it off in time? No, he did not. Just bobbled it just as he was getting into his 1-2 step for his jumper.
Interesting lineup the Breakers have. Boucher, Vacona, Pledger. Boucher and Vacona, they aren't going to be guarded by the Hawks, so that paint's going to be really congested and make it harder for Jackson to penetrate, Steve.
Plenty of time for Wollongong to get a good shot. This is the matchup they like. Catron pulls up and rims out. And that's it. After 1 quarter of play, it's Wollongong with a 6-point lead. They've held New Zealand, the best team in the land, to 14 points. We'll be back.
That is a big wicket. New Zealand back in it.
Bowling, a slower delivery, not picked.
It's out. It is out. Nathan McCallum has his man. Here we go. Should be out.
Canterbury Wizards versus Proteas. Wednesday, live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage brought to you by Mitre 10 Mega.
Imagine feeling at the top of your game every day. Barocca is a performance multi. Taken every day, it's clinically formulated for mental,
Queen to D4,
and physical performance. Barocca, suitable and recommended for daily use.
South Africa. They've got 2 of the top 10 batsmen in the world. They've got one of cricket's fastest bowlers. They've got attitude, but so do we. Now they're in our backyard. The Black Caps are ready to do battle in 3 2020s, 3 one-dayers and 3 tests. This is international cricket at its very best. Get your tickets now from Ticketek. The National Bank Series, Black Caps South Africa. It's our turn to shine.
He's committed now, this young man. He's going for his top run scorer bet. Slides in, and he's down. Place your top run scorer bet at tabsport.co.nz.
Hi, I'm Gene from Smith & Smith. I'm on my way to help a couple who were shocked to find their side window was smashed. They called Smith & Smith straight away.
I'm sorry to hear about that. Let's take care of it.
Smith & Smith has more vehicle glass in stock than anyone, so I was able to fix it fast. And they were delighted, because thanks to their insurer, the replacement was free. So insist on Smith & Smith, New Zealand's leading vehicle glass repairer.
Smith & Smith Repair. Smith & Smith Replace.
Welcome back to the Gong. Hawks up 20-14. New Zealand are 4 for 7 outside the three-point line, but they have committed 6 turnovers already in the first quarter.
Well, I just think they came out complacent, and Andre Lamanis, the coach, is all over that. But if you're going to come out complacent against the Hawks on their home court, they'll beat you. Doesn't matter with top versus bottom. Got a great crowd here to get behind. This is a mismatch. Ende, take him off the dribble, baby. Oh, good defensive effort by the big fella.
Oscar Foreman, that's good. Late in the shot clock, Oscar Foreman's got 12 already in the game.
Well, that's probably why he's gone with Boucher and Vakona, just to curtail Oscar Foreman's scoring. This is a big mismatch here.
Boucher comes up short on his hook shot. Reese Martin pushes it up on the break. Back to Oscar Foreman. Well, when you're that hot, you ought to be looking at shooting that one. Davison for 3. That's off the mark. Mika Vakona tips it to a teammate in Jackson.
Well, better defensive transition from the New Zealand Breakers. You know, if Oscar had shot that ball, Steve, it would have been contested by Vakona. So good defensive transition. But look how congested the paint is with both Boucher and Vakona out there. Free run at the offensive rebound, though.
Vakona gets the man-sized rebound. Gets it to Jackson. He slows it down. Pledger against the smaller Foreman. Jackson tries to get to the rim, but the congested lane is giving him some trouble.
Yeah, playing Boucher and Vakona together, I'd be sagging in the paint all night. I'd be telling the guys to just sag in.
Ubaka with the floater as he experiments in the paint. Got all the time in the world. 7 turnovers to nothing. You see on the bottom of your screen. Vakona, another turnover. Hawks just packing the lane. Ubaka.
We're going to shoot that.
Hawks turn it down and get a ball reversal. Davison loses the handle, but it goes to Ubaka. Shot clock down to 4. Finds his way and gets the score.
What a great move.
Creative.
Just change of pace. Got all the way. That's something the Hawks have done it all year. There's nobody else on this team that can get into the paint like that. I think he's going the Hawks way.
Fouls on. Is that on Dylan Boucher?
This could be an upset in the making, Steve.
Hawks up by 10. Points in the paint. Wollongong are dominating in just about every statistical category.
Well, when you turn the ball over that many times, You turn the ball over, you're going to tell your team to run, and that's going to result in points in the paint. Hawks have hardly had any points in the paint all year. They don't have post-up players. They're all perimeter players, but they're getting some nice, easy baskets because of the turnovers.
Saville into the hot man, Oscar Foreman. Martin catch and shoot. That rims out.
Another wide open look. Breakers dodge a bullet.
Breakers have yet to score here in the second. 3 minutes.
Wow, oh my God.
Pass goes in for 3 points.
Oh. And Andre, that brings a smile to Andre's face. Not the Hawks fans, but certainly mine.
It's one way of breaking the drought. Ubaka kisses one off the window. Gets his floater to go. And responds to the lucky pass that turns into a 3 for Jackson.
And that was a big-time penetration by Ubaka. Great composure.
Red 7.
I really like him, Stevie. I think you already know there's a play. We've talked about it before. He can score, he can create. But I think in a close game, that's something the Hawks have needed all year in the close games. They haven't been able to finish a close game. So they've got a finisher out there in Ubaka if the game's close.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Those guys can create something out of nothing late in the shot clock. The teams that have that have the advantage. Daryl Corletto left alone outside the three-point line again.
Yeah,
he's got 4 threes.
Well, Ubaka's got to fight over that screen. You just can't let Corletto. He's just feeling it. He hit his first 3 shots. As soon as he comes into the game, you've got to be all over him.
Tyson Demos in rhythm. He rattles that one in. His first one rattled out. And that's what he needs to do. He is tenacious on the defensive end. He's got to be a knockdown shooter, though.
Yeah, he's got to. He can't catch and shoot, Steve. He's got to become more consistent.
Good defense by Wollongong. Mika Vakona knocked off balance, had nowhere to go.
And we saw Matt Campbell have 17 points 2 weeks ago. And with Ubaka on the floor, there'll be more open looks for guys like Tyson Demos and Matt Campbell.
Foreman down into Larry Davison. He misses the sitter.
Larry Davison's got to finish that 7-footer under the rim.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Jackson.
Well, this is a mismatch down low now. Spent the turnaround jumper here.
Wilkinson gets into the middle, but reach-in foul by Ayinda Ubaka. Get another look. And gets him along the right arm. Wilkinson.
Well, this is a pretty good lineup New Zealand's got here with Corletto shooting the ball so well. Obviously, CJ's seeing some more minutes than he normally does on the bench, but you just know, come finals time or the game's tight, I've got CJ Brute out on that floor.
You know, late in CJ's career, he's had some big games, of course. He's quite happy if his team's playing well to play a lesser role. Then, as soon as it comes into the big shot territory, he's one of the best the league's ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
Oscar Foreman left alone. The Daryl Corletto of the other end. Oscar Foreman has 15 points. Well, so does Daryl Corletto.
Well, look at Coach Andre Lamont. He's just glaring at Wilkinson, saying, well, you got to wake up. Just glare at him. Expect him to come out, I reckon. Unless he's putting points on the board, because he's given up points.
Mika Vakona, who's gotten a lot better at stroking that medium-range jump shot.
Yeah, Andre Lamont, he's yelling at Wilkinson out there.
Ubaka.
Oh, nice
Jackson
defense.
Gets the block. I like this matchup between these two guys. Wilkinson. Tough shot off the glass.
Andre wants the three-point play. There was a push there when he shot it, but that's what keeps Wilkinson on the floor. He's just a scoring machine. But you don't want to trade baskets. As a coach, you want to get an edge. You want a player to score, but you want to get stops as well.
Conrad turns the corner. That should count. if it went.
Geez, that's a soft call. I thought Abercrombie running backwards and light touch there.
Timeout TV, timeout Hawks fans, 30. Timeout on the floor. New Zealand Breakers getting back into it, but Wollongong, pesky, won't get them the edge.
Harvey Norman Electrical smashing prices sale on now. Prices are being smashed. We've price smashed this Panasonic 50-inch HD plasma TV, just $7.98. Save on this Fisher & Paykel top-load washing machine. Price smashed to just $5.49. Check out the DeLonghi Pixie Nespresso coffee machine for a low $3.88. Save $65. Get cooking with this Neptune upright oven, now $9.24. Save $100. Wow! Harvey Norman Electrical smashing prices sale on now. Ends Monday.
He's getting a flare pick. When he passes, he comes up, you got to play on this side, you got to make him curl. You play on the inside, you're going to get hit. So you got to get on his hip. Make him curl. If he curls to the basket, you can switch. Okay? No problem. If not, you flare with the guy. Okay? We good? First play, here we go, fist again. Okay, Timmy, you got to get out of that corner quick. Here we go. Hawks, 1, 2, 3. We're pressing up here.
Brendan, there's the adjustment for Corletto.
Yeah, he's talking about, for all the folks at home, when he passes the ball, he's receiving what's thought he referred to as a flare screen, probably easier to back screen. And I mentioned it earlier, your back has got to stay right on his hip. He can't play loose or he's going to get hit and force Corletto to go to the rim. Now, he talked about switching with the big. I don't know if I like that, but the big probably should drop and bump him and then go back to his man, let the big catch. But the danger of that is that if you've got Oscar Foreman or you've got Larry Davis, if they drop, then they're looking at the three-point shot. So, you know, Wilkinson setting that screen. He's looking for a three-point shot.
Conrad missed that one bad. It was very short. Misses 2. He's an 85% free throw shooter. That's rare. Missed opportunity for the Hawks.
Well, also, Cedric Jackson hasn't got any assists. The paint's been congested. Normally, he's just killing teams with penetration, but it's very congested.
Abercrombie trying to loosen up the Hawks' defense.
That's way too easy. Oh, he dodged the bullet.
Abercrombie sticks with it as Catron got it clean.
Well, when you switch, you know, Catron, I'm pretty sure, was guarding Abercrombie there and just lost sight of him on the offensive rebound, and he just snuck in there for that layup.
Conrad with Abercrombie on his Oscar Foreman from Contra Lamanis just cannot believe it.
It's not smart defense. You know, you've got to know, the guy's on fire. He's got 18 points, I think, now in the first half. He ain't going to sink in. Lamanis is going to kick the chair.
Yeah. He's not killing him by putting it on the floor.
No, that's not his strength, but that's the difference in the game. Right now is Oscar Foreman scoring freely. Take that away, New Zealand's probably in front.
C.J. Bruden checks into the game. He'll come in for Cedric Jackson. Andre Lamanis wants to talk to his troops about the hot shooting Oscar Foreman. He's got 18 points. He's a perfect 4 for 4 outside the three-point line, and he's 7 of 9 all up.
Well, you talk about high IQ now. The Breakers are pretty experienced. Kokona's pretty experienced. It really surprised me when that ball went in that he just left Oscar Foreman. You know, right now, the way he's feeling, you only want to leave him, a foot, so to speak. And he's gonna get that off. But that was like 2 meters away.
No doubt about that. Normally, like you say, Nico Vacona plays with a high basketball IQ and knowing who you can leave on help defense and who you just stay home on. I mean, stay home on with an arm bar right in his chest.
Well, New Zealand, Oscar Foreman played with New Zealand. They know he hits a few shots. He's feeling good. He's going to be going for the night. The big thing you've got to do with Oscar is not let him get easy baskets early in the game. And as you mentioned, make him put the ball to the floor. It's not a strength of his. It's a turnover waiting to happen. I don't know, Steve. That'd be in the scouting report.
And top 3 scorers for both teams. But look at the top scorers. Oscar Foreman and Daryl Carletto putting on a shooting clinic at the moment.
And that's a lot of points for a half, especially a 40-minute game. There's some breakdowns out there coming. Here we go again. Here's a mismatch, Carletto.
He wants Vakona down low. Oscar Foreman on him. Makes a strong move, but comes up short. Saville grabs the rebound, flat-footed.
Oh, turnover coming in. Sam's got to give that up early. That's not a foul.
No,
that's good defense.
It was. He was retreating. Vakona
come on.
Misses another layup. He wanted to pass that.
Can't get it any easier than that. Wow.
Carletto that time gets out to Foreman. Saville loses his footing. And that's a turnover. That'll go to New Zealand.
One ball. The ball just checking in for New Zealand. I think it's all right, yeah?
Not much you can say when you make a move like that.
Like the last 2 plays, Sav's just tried to take his man off the dribble. He ain't going to get that done against you back. Maybe a few years ago, but not right now. He's better off moving it, coming off some screens, and then looking to penetrate. I'll have to have a talk to him next week.
Well, you definitely got great service out of Glenn Saville in your finals appearances.
Wow, he's an absolute gem of a bloke too to coach, but great all-round player. Probably one of the most versatile players ever played in the NBL.
Dylan Boucher with the tip.
Now that's the danger, Steve. If you're going to sag off Dylan Boucher or Vakona, they're going to get a run at the offensive rebound. And they're the little things. He's got such a high IQ that he will bring to the game for the New Zealand Breakers. Look at him up and in on defensively on Foreman. I'd be really surprised if Foreman gets an open look against Dylan Boucher.
Catron off of a Saville pass, and he drills it. Hawks have had all the answers here in the first half. They're up by 7. 1:30 to go until halftime.
Hawks are playing very good basketball.
Jackson, dribble penetration to Thomas Abercrombie. He comes up short. Foreman with the board against his old team.
And don't you hate that as a guard, getting in there and get the guy wide open and he doesn't finish?
Foreman's got a look. Bang!
Come on, Dylan!
Dylan Boucher a little late.
Too
late.
I can't believe it.
21 points for Oscar Foreman. He's a perfect 5 for 5 outside the three-point line.
Andre Lamanna's can't believe it either. Huge breakdown by the Breakers.
Boucher misses the layup.
And fouls.
Did the great pump fake. Got rid of all the D.
I'm just looking at the body language of some of the Breakers. Andre mentioned in his timeout that you got to make it happen. It's just not going to happen. I'll tell you now, they need to pick up their game or they're going down tonight.
Ubaka brings it up with a 10-point lead. Hesitates. Gets it to Saville. He's got a good look. Comes up short. Catron working his way on the offensive rebound. Put back. Hawks have scored the last 5. Make that 7.
Well, the Breakers normally do little things to win games. Again, Wilkinson didn't block out Catron there. Not easy offensive rebound. They're not doing the things that they normally do to win these games.
CJ with a ball fake. CJ with 1 second left on the shot clock. Comes up with the steal. And he runs out of time. CJ Bruton with the late annex. It's a 10-point game here at the Sand Pit. We'll be back with our halftime wrap-up.
I told you, no girls.
Coming for a huge camera and gadget sale. Get amazing deals on digital cameras, mobile phones, printers, GPS tablets, and heaps more. Grab this 2 Degrees mobile. So cheap, plus bonus Logitech headset worth $49. Save $30 on this hot TomTom GPS with bonus maps, just $162. And save across our entire range of cameras. Canon, Nikon, Panasonic, Fuji, Samsung, and more. Every camera reduced in price, including a massive 20% off all Canon SLR cameras. Harvey Norman's camera and gadget sale ends Tuesday.
The Olympic Games. To get there takes incredible will, and shot put takes everything you've got. For Valerie Adams, to get there means pain, sacrifice, and commitment. Luckily for you, all you have to do is use your Visa card. Pay with Visa now for a chance to win one of 8 trips to the London 2012 Olympic Games. More people go with Visa.
Thinking of building or renovating? From the 1st of March, just about any residential work that needs a building consent must be done by a licensed building practitioner. These are builders, tradespeople and designers licensed to do restricted building work. How can you spot a licensed building practitioner? They'll have a card with this on it. Or find them on our website. Use licensed building practitioners on your job and build it right. Find out more at builditright.govt.nz.
Meet the new breed of energy drinks.
Engineered with sports scientists, Powerade introduces a carbonated energy drink with electrolytes and a caffeine hit for energy right from the kickoff. Powerade Fuel Plus, where science meets energy.
Great goals all season long. The Hyundai A-League, live only on Sky Sport.
Welcome back. Wollongong have given the defending champions all they can handle here at the Sandpit tonight. Wollongong have been on fire. In the hands of Oscar Foreman, a perfect 5 for 5 outside the three-point line. His team has rallied behind him, and they're playing with some tremendous energy against the New Zealand Breakers. And maybe Wollongong just one of those teams that match up well and feel good against New Zealand. Doesn't matter where you're on the ladder, you feel good against the team, you feel good.
Well, they did beat New Zealand over there about 2 months ago, but really you look at the Hawks and 3 players are delivering. And for me, it's Eubacker. Obviously, the big one's Oscar Foreman. He's got 21 points, but Eubacker's broken them down and got into the paint and not only created for himself and others, but Catron's done a really good job for them as well tonight, Steve.
Sure has. Wollongong shooting it well, just under 50% from the field, just under 50% outside the three-point line, thanks to Oscar Foreman. Only been to the foul line 6 times, but New Zealand have only been to the foul line twice. In all the effort areas, it just seems like New Zealand are lacking. They've turned the basketball over. They've had a couple of brain freezes early, just coughing the basketball up, really with no pressure, just throwing the basketball into somebody's hand that's in the passing lane. And Wollongong, like you said, if you come up sleeping against them, especially in this building, they can put you away.
Well, absolutely. And if you turn the ball over that many times, the Hawks are going to gain confidence from that because they're going to get easy baskets. They struggle to score in the paint, but here you see off a turnover, they're going to get to the free throw line or they're going to get layups. The other thing that the Hawks are doing a good job with, look at that congested paint right there. I talked about when Vakona and Boucher's on the floor together, it's very congested. And so Jackson's going to struggle to get his assists, especially with the congestion.
Well, they've got to make some adjustments. Andre Lamonis, one of the best in the business at making adjustments on the fly. And they've got a whole halftime talk to dedicate to, for one, getting to Oscar Foreman, and 2, trying to get some dribble penetration with that congested lane. I'm sure they're going to talk about that. What do you think, what kind of adjustments would you make if a team was packing it in the lane like that?
I was thinking about that, Steve. The versatility of Abercrombie, you can play him in the 4, and they haven't done this tonight, but I've seen them do it in other games. So Abercrombie can shoot the ball from outside. So people aren't going to play off him. Throw CJ and Corletto out there together. So you got Abercrombie, Corletto. So now you got the extra shooter out there, and it makes it difficult to play off those guys. And if they do, the other adjustment you can make is that Bouchers or Vakona's got to get more dribble handoffs to get the shooters open.
And that's why we've got a coach in the box, Brennan Joyce, giving you his strategy on how to attack a team that's packing the lane. Wollongong, a perfect 6 for 6 in the paint. So not just shooting the basketball well outside the three-point line. When they get it in the paint, they are taking care of business. And they have just been tremendous tonight with their shooting of the basketball, especially three-point land. And the New Zealand Breakers look like this: 12 of 23 from the field. And Brendan, it's pretty much what you're talking about. They're packing the lane against New Zealand, and they've struggled.
Absolutely, and so that takes Jackson out of the equation. He's such a tremendous penetrator, but when he penetrates, no one's going to help off Boucher and Vakona, so he's running into the wall, so he can't get to the rim. So they need perimeter shooters, or, as I mentioned, Steve, tactically, you've got to get Boucher and Vakona to dribble at the shooters like Corletto, or play CJ Bruton a little bit. And because there's no help. If you get like a what we call a dribble handoff for the folks at home, it's like setting a screen, they're going to get open.
All right, well, one guy that does not need to get open if you're a New Zealand fan is this man right here, is Oscar Foreman. 21 points in the first half for Oscar Foreman, 8 of 10 shooting. Perfect 5 for 5 outside the three-point line. And let's have a look at some of these shots. That started the game, so he got his first 2 in the paint, and then it's just catch and shoot off of Yinda Ubaka. You called it, Brennan. Yinda Ubaka, dribble penetration, getting it to Oscar Foreman. This time it's Reese Martin, and Oscar Foreman's in the flow. So once you're feeling like that, then the basket looks like a hula hoop. It looks big, and he's knocking them down.
Well, I'm surprised you called it before that Oscar wanted the signal to come out. You don't want to come out when you're shooting the ball that well. You don't want to play all night. And he's on fire, and the Hawks are probably wondering where this has been, but this has just been a tremendous half from Oscar Foreman. But for them to win the game, he's going to need to continue to knock down those shots.
All right, you want to change your tip?
No, I still feel that New Zealand could get it back. 10 points is a fair margin, so I'll leave it at that. But Hart says Wollongong head still stays the Breakers. They'll make adjustments.
All right, well, if anybody wants my opinion, I think New Zealand going to come back. I think Wollongong cannot continue to shoot like this, as well as Oscar Foreman. Well, you join us for the second half, and you be the judge. New Zealand, the top team in the NBL, going up against Wollongong, who've given them everything they can handle. We'll be back with the third quarter right after this.
How's your day been?
It's been a bit ragged today. I just started taking this prescription medication and it's knocking me around a bit. But
You right?
yeah, just a bit spaced out. Just take a second to get myself focused, eh? Oh dear. Yeah, I'm fine if I just take it slowly, eh? These things just zone you out, you know? It's like... Oh.
Did you want me to drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, pull over. It's all right. I'll drive.
You got a license and everything?
Yeah, I've got a full license, yeah.
Thanks for the offer.
That's all right.
Now to deal with one of these things. It's one of these hand ones in the park there now.
Wattle Solar Guard's total protection technology blocks out harmful UV rays and resists flaking, blistering and peeling in any weather conditions. Wattle Solar Guard, available now at participating hardware and paint retailers.
See the bigger picture with Brothers A3 Inkjet multifunctions and get the A3 impact you deserve with instant advertising, detailed plans and stronger presentations. High-speed wireless A3 technology that offers the lowest running costs in its class. You can even print and scan from your iPhone. From the brand that first introduced the A3 Inkjet multifunctions, the Brother MFCJ 6510DW, only $2.99 after $50 cashback. Buy now.
Got a late night pizza craving? We've got it covered with our late night hours. Place any delivery order online from 10 p.m. till closing and get a free 1.5 litre Pepsi Max. Domino's, it's all good.
I told you, no girls.
I'm the brains.
I'm the brawn. You know I'm the star, don't you? Go.
What's it about?
What's it about?
It's in the title.
The Cricket Show, Wednesday, Sky Sport 1.
You gotta win a title.
The Fighter, coming soon on Sky Movies.
Coverage of the NBL is brought to you by Bartercard.
Welcome back. Everybody's happy. I don't need that. What do you call that? Spit the dummy or don't want the dummy, something like that. Reese Martin's wife having a look. Sitting right behind the New Zealand bench. I'm not quite sure what's the strategy of that. The point guard, there's Reese Martin's wife, is to the right with the dark hair.
Might be trying to distract the breakers.
Yeah, she gets quite vocal too. She gets quite involved in the game, yes.
That might be why she's behind the breakers bench then, Steve.
Wollongong, the first possession, Cedric Jackson with the steal. He goes upstairs for the jam. Leading the league in steals is Cedric Jackson, and you see you don't want to overhandle the ball around him too much. Jackson got hooked up there with Larry Davison. We'll get another look at that jam. And then he just threw him down, and Wilkinson goes down like a bowling ball effect.
Yeah, not much in that, just all accidental.
I think it was just a big arm swing. It's more drama than anything else. Ubaka to Martin. Martin gets into the paint. Just rims out.
You've got to finish that. That's a wide open layup.
Jackson turns the corner. He's fouled by Ubaka.
Well, Gordy wouldn't be happy the last two possessions. Jackson's got a steal and then they miss a wide open layup, and now they're running it back at you. Crucial time for the Hawks. You've got to come out tough. Throwing it up now on the end line. Just changing up the defense.
Well, Martin did all the hard work and just wasn't able to finish it off on that layup. I still like this lineup with the two guards that can turn the corner and make something happen. Makona, too big for Ubaka. Ball goes off him. Foul. That looked like it went off Mika Makona, didn't it?
Nah, it didn't, Steve. It's off the Hawks. But I agree with you. And you go to the NBA these days, you look at, they're all running guards that can put the ball to the floor. You can't just be a shooter or you can't be a non-shooter. They want you to be able to shoot and dribble and pass. And I think in Australia, we've got to continue to develop our kids so that they can do these things to become better players.
Wilkinson showing you how he stays on the floor. He is someone you have to double team down on the block.
He's one of the best scorers going around. I'm sure Andre will just want him to pick it up at the defensive end. That's a good show off the on-ball screen. And now he's rotating back to that shooter, Oscar Foreman. Much better defense from Wilkinson on that pace.
Ubaka, his three ball short. That's run down by Jackson. Good rebounding guard for his size.
Look at that paint. Can he still get in there? There's three guys in that paint. He still draws a foul. I love the way this kid plays. For all our Australian kids at home, watch the way Jackson plays. And you know how I feel about Myron Allen too, who the Tigers just picked up. He's one of the better passing point guards in the league as well. But Myron Allen, as we saw, can shoot as well.
You know, they're playing off of Cedric Jackson. We heard in one of the timeouts, Andre Lamana said, look, you can't settle for the three. You got to get to the rim. Now, it's congested, but with a player like Cedric Jackson, you can't be too far off because then he gets a running start at you.
Yeah, and, you know, from your playing experience, that's tough to deal with. And sometimes you just got to penetrate, even though they're sagging off you. At least try and get to the free throw line to get yourself into the game, because that's how he gets into the game.
Good ball movement. Pass to Tyson DeMoss. He drills it. That is what he's got to do.
Well, he doesn't have to do a whole lot, Steve. Just stand there and catch and shoot and make the most of them and play defense.
You ought to shoot about 500 of those a day. Wilkinson. That was a brick. Tyson DeMoss with the long rebound. I don't know how he didn't sense Cedric Jackson behind him.
Well, he's not normally a ball carrier, Steve, and you should give that up early and keep running and get back another catch and shoot, or cut to the rim.
Jackson, another one of those guys, is just as dangerous behind you as he is in front of you. Bacona skips it to Corletto. One bounce dribble to get himself closer.
But a great closeout. I'd be closing out hard on him. Good closeout by Tyson DeMoss. Made him dribble, and as we saw, we finally got a missed shot from Daryl Corletto.
And that's what you got to do when a guy's red hot like that. You got to make him put it on the floor.
Back. Five.
That one's on Gary Wilkinson in the back.
Signs are good for the Hawks. Tyson DeMoss coming off the bench, hitting that three early in the third.
DeMoss, shot clock down to 3. It's straight and it's good. Tyson DeMoss on fire.
Well, he's a catch and shoot, same thing we talked about. Make players put the ball on the floor. If they hit a couple, he's feeling good. He hit that three, you know, only about a minute ago.
He's always a solid defender, but that'll put a bit more bounce on his step on the other end of the floor, too. Wilkinson, backdoor cut. Hesitated. DeMoss was off balance.
The switching defense, Tyson DeMoss just slipped over, which allowed Wilkinson to get that easy layup.
Reese Martin in the key. Nice pass to Larry Davison. DeMoss for another bomb. That's off the mark.
I really don't know what these guys are thinking, turning their back on shooters when they've made 2 in a row, Steve.
Davison kept it alive for Wollongong. Saville.
Give it off. And then repost.
Oscar Foreman. That's good. Oscar Foreman continues his hot streak. He did not need much time and space. Saville and Abercrombie going at it.
You know what, though, Steve? I don't think the Hawks need to fire up New Zealand. They should just let sleeping dogs lie.
Because they have been asleep.
Yeah.
Double foul. What, Abercrombie and Sugg? Was there a third man in?
There's nothing in this.
Coming in. Just coming in looking after the game. Run a double foul. 12 in the red, 10 in the white. Go that way.
There's a double foul. Saville and Abercrombie. And they're still guarding one another.
And the young bull versus the old bull.
Let him talk, Roger. Let him talk.
Yeah, no one can hear it.
Corletto. He's cooled off. He's missed his last 2. Tyson DeMoss just getting up underneath Gary Wilkinson on that rebound. That'll be baseline out of bounds for New Zealand.
Right where your foot is, mate. Right where your foot is, right there. There you go.
I'm just wondering how long Ando your back is going to be sitting on that bench, though, Steve. I know they've got a 12-point lead.
See that bit there, right?
Floor wipers doing their best. They need to get a little sense of urgency going there. Corletto gets it in. Jackson spins, gets to the rim. That'll be a travel. He hopped into a spin.
I don't think that is a travel. Roger calls a lot of travels on spins, but I'd like to see the footwork on that. There's no way that's a travel in the US.
No, it's not.
And that's not a travel.
Put one foot down and laid it up.
Just because you spin doesn't mean it's a travel.
No.
You got to look at it.
4, 5, 6.
So New Zealand turn it over again. That's turnover number 11. Catron gets by Wilkinson.
Well, the Hawks are doing all the right things. They're going at Wilkinson on the perimeter now. Catron instead of settling for the jump shot. Weeks ago, he would shoot that jump shot instead of taking his big man off the dribble. And that's a good move.
Abercrombie making sure that wasn't a three-point play as he went upstairs and changed the shot's direction.
I agree with you, Steve. New Zealand's been put to sleep. They're in danger of an upset here.
They are struggling, only shooting it at 38% from the field with 11 turnovers. And they're not aggressive turnovers.
Right off the bat, they just were throwing the ball into the Hawks' hands in the first 3 or 4 minutes. It's given the Hawks a lot of confidence, and they picked up easy baskets. Hawks are a real chance now.
Wilkinson outside the three-point line, and you cannot allow him that much time and space. Wollongong keeping it spread. Reese Martin loses a handle. CJ gets it to Jackson. Jackson turns on the Jets, gets it to Abercrombie.
Oh, this is a mismatch here. He should be looking at taking Foreman off the dribble. And he does. And one.
And got it. Abercrombie with a nice crossover.
See, what I like about that, Abercrombie just pulled it out, knew he had to slow a guy on him. There's no need to run offense. This game isn't rocket science. Sometimes you don't need to run structure. Space it out, go at it straight away. He either scores or if they suck in, somebody gets an open look, Steve.
New Zealand get that one to go. Abercrombie will go to the foul line. We'll take a break, 52-42.
There are rich teams and poor teams, and then there's us.
You don't put a team together with a computer.
We are card counters. We're going to turn the odds on the casino. I say it's just getting started.
Moneyball.
He's committed now, this young man. He's going for his top run scorer bet. Slides in, and he's down. Place your top run scorer bet at tabsport.co.nz.
Keep being aggressive. Trans on the fly has been good for us. All right, the pick and pop I haven't used the second guy's been good. Okay. Otherwise, you got some secondary rips, and some shakes to keep getting to the basket. Secondary rips and shakes. This one here, go ahead and run shakes. It said you be the out of bounds guy. All right, so it's going to G, it hits here, and you come across and look at that handoff and get to the basket.
Put me there, because that's staying home on G.
All right, so G, you're here, and you're setting that back screen here, and Dylan's going to be this guy. There we go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Brennan, I like Andre Lamanis' timeouts. You know what I like? I like the fact that he's referring to the scouting report, because I am mystified at how players don't seem to know a player's tendency. Like he was saying, Catron likes to put it on the floor going to the left. That's clear. Also, Oscar Foreman, they have to get a hands distance, touching distance on closeouts.
Well, the breakers just aren't switched on the defensive end, it seems, Steve. So if they make that adjustment, they've got a chance of getting back in the game. We've still got a fair amount of time to go, but the Hawks have put them to sleep, for sure. But saying that, they've just scored 6 straight points.
And they're only down by 8. Wollongong have got to continue to put the foot on the gas. And turn the scoreboard over. Larry Davison for 3. That's way off the mark.
I was just about to say he's due, but he's not looking like making one.
Jackson gets it to CJ. Extra pass to Abercrombie. Yes, here come New Zealand. They've scored the last 8.
And it's a little bit more difficult now for the Hawks to sag in the paint with shooters like Wilkinson, Abercrombie and CJ. He's got 3 shooters out there. They can only sag in the paint really off Boucher now.
Katron gets to the middle.
Katron's having a good game. I think that's a smart move. I'd like to see more of that of him posting up these smaller 4-man in the league. And they did. I thought there was 2 points missing, Steve. It's now a 5-point difference. I said that during the break. I wasn't sure if they added the 2 points. And you know what? I'm pretty sure Abercrombie made his shot. They gave him 2 free throws, so maybe they got an extra point.
You like those 4-point plays.
They put it up.
Wait for it, boys.
Or was that a free throw? I'm confused with the scoreline right now.
Katron gets the free throw to go. Boucher, great pass to Abercrombie. It's blocked from behind by Katron.
Well, the Hawks just keeping it at bay at the moment.
Katron with an athletic, acrobatic type move. He's very handy with either hand around the hoop.
And Andre Lamanis has seen enough. He wants better defense from Wilkinson. He's coming out. Katron just led him to the ball. Foul coming up here.
Abercrombie spins. That's a travel right in front of Roger.
I'd like to see the footwork on that again, because I don't think that's a travel.
Get another look, spin. I think if you're going to call that every spin move is a travel. I'd sure hate to see that move eliminated from the game.
There's certainly some spin moves are travels, but there's some that aren't. You know?
I think if you hop into a spin, it's a travel.
Yeah.
But if you just
planted your foot,
spin into a shot,
you're taking out an exciting part of the game. If you're just not allowed to make a spin move.
Martin finds Tim Conrad. Dribble penetration by Reese Martin results in 2.
Well, again, the Hawks bounce back. The Breakers just can't break that 6-point margin. They are just not playing with the urgency that's required.
Jackson.
Wow, how'd he get that off, Steve? Defense wasn't too bad on that one.
He thought he was fouled, too. He barked at Roger Shields. He better watch himself there.
He knows he can't make a spin move for the rest of the night.
Reese Martin. Hit by C.J. Bruton. Just gets right by him. No help defense from New Zealand.
Breakers in trouble, I reckon, Steve.
They've spread him out, and they've exposed New Zealand on dribble penetration. Hawks up 61-49. Andre Lamanis' first-place team is in trouble here at the Sandpit.
And Ayende Ubeka has been on the bench most of this quarter.
They might want to get him back in there. And Wollongong's trust of, and when they're playing well.
Ubeka wasn't hurt, was he?
Well, they're playing well. They're up 11. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, Martin just got a nice lap, so they'll probably keep him out on the floor. But before that, really, it was Tyson Debos that I thought was doing a good job, and I expected him to stay on the floor, and maybe Ubeka could come in for Martin.
Okay, you got to worry about the 3-point, Larry. You're at the back. Conrad, Reese, you're chasing. But we want to go here, 51 do, till he gets that catch. As soon as he gets that catch, you guys back, sprint back. Hey, for us here, get to numbers again. Except we're out of sack. So run sack, and then whoever pledges on, he comes and gets it. Okay? So sack, the middle on ball.
Well, the Hawks Hawks are going to move the ball here, Steve, and they're going to on-ball off Pledger, which is a good idea. He'll probably be late on his show, so Martin should be able to get to the rim, as he did on that last play that we saw going into the top before the timeout. So the advantage is Pledger's size, the post-up, but he can really utilise or abuse him on the defensive end with on-ball screens.
CJ looking for a teammate, finds Bacona. CJ with Reese Martin. Steps up and underneath. Wow. CJ Brute. Team needs a scoring boost. They go to the veteran.
And you talk about scouts, Steve. Reese Martin should know that CJ loves to pump fake. His dad used to do the same thing. Stay on the floor, man.
CJ Brute, he makes it look just effortless.
Well, he's slowed down a notch, but his IQ, all the experience he's got, he's just a heady player, and come finals time, you just know he's going to deliver, as you mentioned before. So he was struggling to get by Reese Martin there, but just got him down low and just give him a little bit of a fake. Up in the air he goes, and he steps around him.
Wait for it.
That's Reese Martin doesn't have the height to stay with him and contest a shot. Wow, that's...
No, you do not. CJ Brute does not miss from the foul line too often. On the year, he's at 87%. We saw Tim Conrad, an 85% foul shooter, miss two earlier.
That's not a smart foul. Put the guy on the line.
Another look, he is just right in front of the referee, and that might be the easiest call Roger Shields has made all year. And Mika Bacona is the type of player who can get in foul trouble. Tonight he's only got one. That's his first. Maybe he was feeling a little left out in the foul department.
Well, I said it wasn't a smart foul, but he misses the first free throw. But you know, when you're in the bonus, you've got to know when you're in the bonus and not give easy points up.
1 for 2 is Tyson Demos. Demos, and below average free throw shooter on the year at 64%. Abercrombie is starting to light it up outside.
And this is where the Hawks have got to watch it. If they score, get within, 5, 8 points, the game could break right open in the last quarter.
Hawks up by 7 at the moment. A little over a minute to go.
But every time the breakers get here, Steve, they have a breakdown. Here's another one.
There's Reese Martin. Had a wide open look. Alex Pledger was late. Didn't want to get too close to him. Allowed dribble penetration. Jackson.
Look at all that paint.
That's a charge. They are just sagging all the way into the paint. Jackson had nowhere to go.
You know what? That's good defense. I think that's a charge. Cedric is shaking his hand, but that's a charge. He just needed to give that up a little bit earlier to CJ or Abercrombie. Look, there's two guys there.
He had nowhere to go. And Wollongong's lead is 9. Matt Campbell sitting on the bench watching his teammates. Oscar Foreman gets it up against Mika Bacona.
Well, they'll move this ball and then on ball probably off Pledger. Here we go.
Martin with the split.
That's a block shot.
Abercrombie with a great block shot. You can't block a shot better than that. They collided bodies, but he's allowed to go up in the air. Let the man make a spectacular play. He goes straight up in the air and blocks a shot.
That's a block shot.
That is a block shot.
You know, there's little things that the NBA referees, they just wait and they look at it. They don't blow their whistle too early. That's a big-time play. It's an exciting play.
Yeah.
It should be let go.
You can't block a shot better than that. Goes up, straight up under the rim. With two hands. It wasn't like he pushed with one hand and blocked it with the other.
Well, Andre's asking the question to Ray Hunt, but he didn't make the call. Roger Shields made the call.
Man, they want to have a look at that one.
Well, what can you do?
No, I mean, the officials want to have a look at that one when they have their meetings.
Yeah, absolutely.
CJ, ball's kicked.
Breaks are going Hawks' way. And that's a break, because really he's a block shot, no question about that.
There's just not enough athleticism in this league to not allow that.
Plus, Roger's an experienced referee.
I think sometimes a player with great athleticism like that, you get surprised. It's Jackson throws it up in the air to Pleasure, and he gets the finish. Super dribble penetration by Cedric Jackson.
Just laid it out there for him. Last shot play, coming off Pleasure again. Here we go. Pick and pop here. Pick and pop, Steve. Get the ball to Foreman.
Martin tries to get it all the way to the rim.
That's a bad play. Oscar Foreman's wide open off that on-ball screen.
Well, there's no time left, but the referees are talking about it. And both teams are going to the bench. 64-56 going into the fourth.
Super Rugby is around the corner, and that means one thing: virtual rugby time.
Unbelievable.
Get behind your team and play virtual rugby by logging on to virtualrugby.co.nz, New Zealand's only official site.
What a try!
There are amazing prizes to be won, and all you have to do is predict the results.
Makes it look easy.
It's the only game in Super Rugby that keeps you involved without having to train. So what are you waiting for? Join virtualrugby.co.nz, New Zealand's official site.
Things don't always go the way they're planned. I'll be the first to admit that. In my career, there's been good times and not so good. But at the end of the day, you have to make a decision, sometimes in a split second. It can mean the difference between winning and losing. So it's always good when there's a sign.
To take the risk out of buying or selling a motor vehicle, always look for the sign.
I never asked for the darkness, but now it's mine to control.
We've come for the darkness, Jackie.
Come and get it.
The Darkness 2, out now.
I told you, no girls.
Welcome back. You're looking at the athletic Thomas Abercrombie. And man, he has some serious springs on that last block shot. That was really something. And those are the type of plays he's capable of making. Last year's most valuable player of the final series. And they're going to need all of his skills to try and get over the top of this lead that Wollongong have going into the fourth.
Look at Oscar Foreman just sitting off the corner.
Wilkinson has squirted up the side of his hand. Saville skips it to Ubaka. His three ball just rings out. Jackson with the board in traffic.
Craig just dodged the ball, and that was wide open. Normally go down from Ubaka. Oh, that's too easy.
Jackson, Abercrombie. Nice hesitation move as floaters off the mark. Davison grabs the board. Martin turning the corner before the shot.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Wilkinson's targeted off the on-balls as well, especially in transition. And I think that's a good move.
Reese Martin in attack mode.
And the point you make, you got Ubaka out there and Reese Martin can both put the ball on the floor. Whereas the Hawks haven't had that all year. They've usually got catch and shoot guys out there.
Martin gets it into Oscar Foreman. His fall away is good.
Yeah, he feel like he can make anything tonight.
Oscar Foreman's only missed 2 shots tonight for his 26 points. Jackson.
Give it off.
Ooh. Gets it to Vacona. He's way off the mark long.
Well, I know the way Gordy coaches against him, he will not guard him. Probably even if he makes a shot, Vacona, he'll still find his man sagging off into the paint. That's a good strategy.
Davison, tough ball away. It's good.
Balls are going their way tonight.
Everything dropping for Wollongong. That ball was about 10 foot and 2 inches off the ground because it was super flat. As it's gone down, timeout on the court to the New Zealand Breakers, who have got a mountain to get over. 68-56.
Have you heard what's happening at Bow Repairs?
It's Bow Repair's massive New Year clearance sale. Get 20% off 4 Goodyear and Dunlop tyres, 12 months interest-free finance, and you get flybys.
Keep it to yourself, okay?
With a look that's unmistakably Kia and superior power and fuel economy, the Kia Sorento R-Series diesel with its ANCAP 5-star safety rating is winning the hearts of New Zealanders. Kia Sorento R. Kia.
Okay? This possession, to they score, we're in this. Okay? You're at the top, you're at the back. Then go back to zone. So show something different. Okay? Offensively, push the ball, make them play it. Hawks, 1, 2, 3.
Well, Gordy's going to continue to mix up his defense, and when he goes into the zone, he is concerned that guys like Vacona will send screens off the ball to get their shooters open like Wilkinson, but they're looking really good tonight, Steve. The Hawks are looking very, very good, and 8 minutes to go. Are the Breakers still asleep, or do you think they're going to pick it up?
They're going to have to pick it up. They're going to have to pick it up. If they're talking about a championship, you do have to go to on the road in a best-of-3 series. And teams are going to be watching this game, and teams will be packing it in against them as well.
Yeah, well, have the Hawks got their mojo back at home? They're looking at 2 in a row if they get this.
Pledger, point-blank range, comes up with a blank. Mika Vacona with the hustle, but will go the other way.
Maybe the Hawks are New Zealand's bogey team.
Maybe. Just as Adelaide has beaten the Perth Wildcats twice this year.
That's true. Both teams on the bottom of the ladder.
And the 2 teams on top. Ubacker with a mismatch. Just blows past Pledger, but he gets a piece of that one. Tried to kind of on the half beat, get that one off quick.
Well, the Breakers are going to need some quick hitters. You're 13 points down, 7 to go. They need to get to the point. And the man that can get to the point is C.J. Bruton. They need to find some shots for C.J. Bruton to get back into this game from the 3-point line.
I think they're going to have to go about it differently than dribble penetration and kick, because that paint has 5 guys in it, or at least 4 in it, waiting for the dribble penetrator.
Well, there's still the option of getting the ball to Vacona with his man sagging off and just going and getting a dribble handoff, and CJ should be able to get a wide open 3 from that.
Well, it sounds as if the Perth Wildcats tried to pack the paint against New Zealand last week, and Cedric Jackson was hitting the 3s.
Well, the other thing that's hurt New Zealand is the turnovers, Steve.
CJ to Vacona.
So you're not guarding Vacona. Go and set a screen.
Jackson for 3. That's off. Martin to Saville. Back to Martin.
This is probably the smartest game I've seen the Hawks play this year.
Jackson with the steal. Boy, he is just clever on Deke.
Yeah, he might have been Darryl McDonald then, but they're not guarding him either, Steve. Look where Glenn Saville is right now. There you go. There's a wide open look for CJ.
CJ off the back of the iron. The tip goes to Oscar Foreman.
Too little, too late, maybe. They can come down and just work the ball until they get an easy look. Milk that clock.
Wollongong need to continue to put heat on the board. Ubaka with a mismatch. Goes off his leg. Martin. He didn't get it off in time.
Oh, his eyes lit up. He thought he was going to get an easy layup.
Substitutions out on the floor. Dylan Boucher and Daryl Corletto. The perimeter punch checks back into the game for New Zealand. But Corletto still only on 15 points. He hasn't scored in the second half.
Well, I think in order to unpack this plan, I mentioned it at halftime, you asked me, Steve, I think the Breakers should go small and play Bruton and Corletto together with Cedric Jackson. Maybe too late.
That's tipped. Let's go back to Wollongong. Ball was tipped on the pass.
I thought you having a three in the corner. That's why I was happy to let it go.
Martin with plenty of time on the shot clock. Saville back to Martin. Fall away by Reese Martin is short. Wollongong needs to continue to put pressure on New Zealand by putting points on the board. New Zealand get a nice hesitation move from Cedric Jackson.
As you mentioned, Steve, even though the paint's back, he still finds a way to get in there and get a layup.
And get a layup with all that traffic in the paint. Ubaka trying to milk a foul as Oscar Foreman brings it up. Still plenty of time for New Zealand to get back in it, but they need stops.
Well, the advantage is with the Hawks. They can just milk the clock. They got a nice little double-digit lead. Then go on an on-ball, late clock.
Martin.
I'd like to see him put the ball in your backer's hand, though. Late clock. Martin just not finishing.
Ball's deflected by Corletto, but the offensive rebound allows Wollongong to take more precious time off the clock.
Well, Tyson Demos coming in for Reese Martin. That's a good substitution. Put the ball in Ubaka's hand. Tyson Demos has had a pretty good shooting night, so if he gets him open, he's going to knock him down.
Playing with a lot of confidence tonight on the offensive end is Tyson Demos. Davison, good quick move, but he comes up short.
And you know, the other thing is there's no pressure on the Hawks. The season's over for them. You know, they've got nothing to lose, so they should be playing loose, Steve.
Jackson again, but it's followed by Boucher, and he makes the tough layup. You saw how long it's been since the Hawks have had a field goal.
Yeah, Boucher sniffer that Tyson Demos ain't a ball handler. There it is, a turnover.
They sure sensed that, didn't they? They attacked the non-ball handler. Tyson Demos has the ball go off his leg, and the lead has been trimmed down to single digits. 69-60, 4:45 to go, as Wollongong are hoping the clock is still their ally.
Well, I think it is, Steve. There's no question, but if the Breakers score here, we've got a game, because 4 minutes is a long time in basketball, as we know. And, you know, I can recall coming back, coaching the Hawks, coming back, Adelaide being 14 down with 3 minutes to go and getting up and going into overtime and winning. 14 points with 3 minutes to go. Yeah. Sounds like ridiculous, but that's what happened here one night. And it wasn't an ordinary Adelaide team, by the way.
Yeah, we've seen some great finishes over the years, and boy, I remember Steve Woodbury hit one against the Adelaide 36ers in Brisbane. After John really hit a three to put Adelaide up by one with 1.2 seconds left. Steve Woodbury caught one from three-quarter court. A pass from three-quarter court, turned on the money and just drilled a three for the game winner.
And there was a finisher in the clutch from Kansas he played at, didn't he?
He played at Kansas.
Big-time school, too.
You know, he doesn't get mentioned in the conversations about some of the NBL's all-time best. He'd be in my top 5.
And he was like a 6'5". He could play 1, 2, and 3. He could switch on everybody defensively. He'd post the smaller guard up, and he'd take your 3-man off the dribble. You're right, Steve. One of the best to play, and a smart player.
He was unstoppable. I saw him give the Magic 47 when they were loaded with defenders.
Well, I wanted to recruit him when he was injured, but we still couldn't afford him.
Used too much money on one leg. Gruden gets it into Boucher.
This is a foul.
Abercrombie puts it on the floor. His floater comes up short. CJ for 3. It's off the mark. CJ misses an opportunity.
How often do you see that offensive rebound in a 3? Normally CJ would just knock that down with his eyes closed. But I like this Bruton and Corletto on the floor together with Abercrombie. It's a small lineup I spoke about, Steve, because they are desperate. But it's very difficult to help off with this lineup.
Ibaka gets into the lane and he's fouled.
And this is what the Hawks didn't have. Someone that can put the ball to the deck, either get to the free throw or finish like Ibaka when you're in a tight situation.
Ibaka just closing the gap. I don't know how that's a foul on Cedric Jackson.
Well, I don't think it was.
No,
I agree with you. I think it was at all.
Ibaka just dropped his shoulder and ran.
Getting some nice calls tonight.
Sure
I
is.
can't remember getting this many when I coached.
I knew that was coming. That's like when Andrew says something about not getting calls.
What?
When he didn't get a call, everyone was so surprised. Hawks have been able to keep New Zealand at bay. The lead's back up to double figures, 71-60.
And then look at the goods, too. This is a very important possession for the Breakers.
Jackson.
That's a foul. Wow.
And Jackson, he's upset. He has not gotten anything all night. And Jackson's been talking to Roger Shields all night. He hasn't gotten anything. Wollongong have taken care of business tonight, though. Ibaka catch and shoot from the wing. It's off the mark. Jackson with the long rebound. Jackson turns the corner. Ibaka trying to find a teammate. He's got to get it over the half-court line. They do. Wollongong have played with tremendous poise tonight. We got to give them a lot of credit from the tip against the sluggish New Zealand Breakers. Broke the game open early and have not looked back.
Well, Ibaka brings, I spoke about this about the time, he just brings a presence. You've got a guy that will make plays too. I'm surprised the ball's not in his hands.
Wollongong just taking their time. Reece Martin's pull-up jump shot. Good.
That's what Reece Martin's got to do. If they go under the screen, he's got to knock that shot down. And the timing of that is really good with 3 minutes to go now, 11-point lead.
Wollongong on top by 11, under 3 minutes to go against the New Zealand Breakers. Have had the answers against the defending champions all night long.
Just let them have possession. So 40 up the floor, make something happen. If they get it over the center line and they start just bouncing it, we've got to go and hit it. All right, just the closest guy, go and hit it and shoot a gap after it and then make some plays. On-ball screens, go ahead and blitz it unless it's down to like 5 seconds in the shot clock. On-ball screens, just go ahead and blitz it now unless it's real late in the shot clock. Offensively, we get stops, we've got to fly, all right? Fly down, quick to the basket, okay? If it's walk-up situations, go ahead ahead and run thumbs, and I don't care who's got it. Like if you bust it out, you can run a thumbs, all right? Go ahead, run thumbs. Have G as the screener hard, and then Tommy pulling out behind it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
New Zealand have definitely taken better care of the basketball. Only 4 turnovers here in the second half, but they just have not been able to contain Oscar Foreman. 26 points. Well, that's foul trouble for both teams. Only Dylan Boucher and Gary Wilkinson on 4.
Well, the Hawks run a lot of on-ball screens, so what Andre means by blitz is as soon as they come up the on-ball this time, they're going to double team it and try and force some turnovers. But if it's late clock, they're going to switch. And I think that's a good move.
Corletto. Wilkinson, single coverage against Saville. He gets all the way to the rim, just a little too strong for the swingman.
That's a good move, trying to make Foreman bring up the ball.
It's going to be close. Yeah, there's the 8-second violation.
Gordy's just upset about that turnover. He sees himself in a winning position. He wants this one.
C.J. Bruton. Abercrombie for 3. That's long.
It's looking like a Hawks victory tonight, Steve.
New Zealand have had their opportunities to get this thing a little closer and missed some good looks outside the 3-point line. Hawks bring it up against the pressure. Running some more time off the clock. Katron is in the handle position. Ubaka to Katron. Gets to the rim. 1 second left on the shot clock. That should seal the deal. Wollongong on the verge of a huge upset.
Hawks are the bogey team for the Breakers. Gordy's up. Nice line, boys. There you go. This gets them off the bottom of the ladder too, Steve.
Big win for Wollongong. Everybody's playing for pride. And they have, from the tip, they have been the superior team tonight.
They've been consistent. They've played to the game plan.
Jackson misses the layup.
They just can't finish. Breakers.
Saville turns on the Jets, brings it up for Wollongong.
That's got the ball in the right man's hands now. There you go.
Ubaka finds Saville for the jam. Crowd on their feet here in Wollongong. Corletto comes up short. Wilkinson on the putback. He misses the layup. Celebrations here at the sand pit.
Give it back to Ubaka.
Katron with the 3. That's off the mark. New Zealand ball. Less than a minute to go. Celebrations have begun already here in Wollongong. They haven't seen many wins.
It's their 3rd home win of the season. That's against the top team. They've beaten them twice now, Steve. As you mentioned, Adelaide have beaten the Wildcats twice.
Jackson's 3's off the mark. 2 more possessions left in this game. Ubaka. Oscar Foreman for 3. Yes! Oscar Foreman with 31 points tonight. On fire outside the 3-point line. A perfect 7 for 7 on the night. Oscar Foreman and the Wollongong Hawks have done it to the defending champions. 80-64 here at the sandpit. Wow, what a shooting display by Oscar Foreman tonight. Hawks 80, Zealand 64. We'll be back to wrap up this upset victory by Wollongong right after this short break.
Great goals all season long. The Hyundai A-League, live only on Sky Sport.
Got a late night pizza craving? We've got it covered with our late night hours. Place any delivery order online from 10 p.m. till closing and get a free 1.5 litre Pepsi Max. Domino's, it's all good.
No girls.
Wattle Solar Guard's total protection technology blocks out harmful UV rays and resists flaking, blistering and peeling in any weather conditions. Wattle Solar Guard, available now at participating hardware and paint retailers.
All over New Zealand, people are extremely keen to do the right thing for the future. So is Meridian. That's why their energy is generated from renewable sources, like hydro and wind. The good news is you can join Meridian from almost anywhere. Here in Fiordland, for example, and nearby in Invercargill. In the Southern Alps, which is also where a lot of the power Meridian generates comes from. You can join Meridian here in Christchurch. Would you like me to run a rinse through that? Upper Hutt, Lower Hutt, this Hutt. Meridian's here in Rotorua, up in Auckland, and even further north. You can join Meridian now from almost anywhere at meridian.co.nz. They're creating a better energy future.
Let's do it. It killed Craig and Harris. Close it down. I knew I'd find it. He's like a father to you. You don't do this, it's a dead man.
And then he's gonna come back. For me, he's your worst nightmare.
You
have no idea how deep this goes.
You think this is over? Killer Elite.
I gotta cover my expenses.
Welcome back to Wollongong, where celebrations are going on like it's a grand final. The Wollongong Hawks haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here at home, but from the tip, Wollongong, it looked like the superior team against the defending champion New Zealand Breakers. They were absolutely sensational, and speaking of sensational, we've got the great Oscar Foreman. My goodness, what a shooting display. 7 for 7 outside the three-point line, a career high, and you witnessed it. Were you just feeling in warm-ups? When did you know you were having a special night?
When I hit my first 4, then I thought I might keep shooting them. I didn't know I didn't miss any. I thought I might have missed a 3 along the way, but I knew I was 7 to 7. I might have shot a few more at the end.
Well, Andrew Gaze doesn't say this, but Shane Heel says if you shoot 7 for 7 and you're perfect, that means you didn't take enough shots.
Exactly. Well, I thought I was career high with 26, and I thought I was on 24, so I shot the last one just to make sure I got a career high. And I already had it anyway, luckily. There you go. Hopefully that will spill into your next couple of games. We're just glad we were here to witness this. Let's check out the match stats, the numbers. Wollongong on top, 80 to 64, shooting the basketball at 50% from the field, 43% outside the three-point line. Rebounding the same at 31. You know, the difference was the three-point line, Oscar. You guys were shooting the basketball, you guys were out hustling them, and you guys did a great job of packing the paint. Obviously, that was your game plan. Yeah, we came in with a strong game plan. For once, we actually executed it. obviously last week against Gold Coast we didn't do anything close to our game plan. We always want to back up against the league leaders. I think we match up pretty well with New Zealand. Now we go there on Thursday, play them. We got to try and replicate what we did here. But I think the big telling thing on those stats is the assists. We move the ball like we were last year, moving around the perimeter and getting open shots. We've got good shooters, as we do. We just got to move the ball well enough and not get blocked on one side.
Yeah, he did it without Matt Campbell.
I couldn't believe how many open looks you got.
Yeah, there was a couple at the start, and I don't know if people think I can't shoot the ball. I don't know, but I'm happy they keep leaving me.
They're just amazing stats. 7 from 7 from the three-point line. Can't ask any better than that, Steve.
No, you can't. You guys did a good job of dribble penetration, finding the open player. I know it looks a lot better when you're knocking down shots, but you guys did not have any shortage of good looks tonight.
No, I think when we just came out just giving an up screen up the floor and being aggressive that way, we're going to kick it around. We got shooters. Larry, hasn't been showing it this year, but he's a great shooter and he's respected for that. Then you got me, and then you got the next two passes are also shooters. So as long as we came out aggressively, things fell well for us.
And a great, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, Ubacker, you've won 2 home games in a row now with Ubacker being here, and you talk about the open looks. It seems those open looks have been a lot more have been created since Ando Ubacker has been brought on board with the team.
Yeah, there's talk of just playing him in home games and leaving him when we go on the road because his record's not good with us there. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'll put it to the coach.
And pretty important one to bounce back after getting dragged by 41 to come back here in front of your home crowd and bounce back like that.
Yeah, thanks for reminding us. That was embarrassing. That was a very, very disappointing loss. And we had a look at the film, and we thought we were getting manhandled, and we were. We thought it was stuff illegal, and it wasn't at all when we looked at the film. So we just came out. We obviously had to play harder and play with the game plan and be physical. To tie the rebounds with a team like this, so they've got Mika Vicona on the boards. He's a tough ass. He's the toughest in the league, I think. So to tie the boards, I think that's a pretty good job from us.
All right, stick with us as we check out some of the match highlights of the game, and not just you shooting the basketball. Outstanding from the three-point line. You got a lot of dribble penetration, a lot of good cuts, and just had a lot of good play, not just on the offensive end, but it was just one of those games where everything was flowing for you guys. And you know what? You got a few calls, too. When you start playing well and knocking down shots, you get a few calls as well.
Who would have thought when you play hard and stay up the rest, you're going to get a few? Maybe we should have tried that last week.
Yeah, well, definitely a big change in the way you guys played from last week to this week, and that's what the game is all about. And Gordy McLeod will say that as well. You don't get too excited about a win, and you don't get too disappointed about a loss, but great to see that you guys bounce back, and great to see Oscar Foreman with a career high, and congratulations and thanks for joining us after the game.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
Great job,
All right, Oscar Foreman with us right there. The basketball continues on one as tomorrow we are going to Adelaide to check out the Adelaide 36ers. This is a team that they can put points on the board, no doubt about that, as they take on the Sydney Kings. And this is a game where guys are playing for pride. The Townsville Crocs. This is a game where guys are playing for pride, and Townsville are a team that are trying to stay in the playoff hunt.
Well, the pressure's on the 36ers now because the Hawks are off the bottom. And as you say, big game for the Townsville Crocodiles. It's those 5 teams now. Who's going to make the playoffs? Is it Gold Coast, Townsville, or Cairns? Because the Breakers and Wildcats are there.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the teams that we've been talking about all year long, New Zealand, of course, the Perth Wildcats, and now we've been talking about the Gold Coast Blaze, but they don't have a golden path all the way to the playoffs. Cairns have a very good run. They have a lot of home games. Nobody's talking about the Cairns Taipans for a while because everybody's so excited about the way the Gold Coast are playing.
Well, as you say, they've got a tough run, and the Gold Coast don't play as well away from home, Steve. They've had those big wins at home, but Cairns Taipans, they're surprising everybody again this year. They've knocked off the Wildcats the other night. They're just going about their job quietly. So it's definitely out of Cairns Taipans, the Crocodiles, and the Gold Coast to see who's going to make up the rest of that top 4.
All right, Brennan Joyce right there. Thanks for joining us. Great to see Wollongong, of course, your team, your town.
Hey, we did tip of the night too. I'm going to hear about it, but great to see them get another home win. Great for the fans.
All right, great for the fans, great for our viewers, and we'll see you tomorrow night in Adelaide.
Look into my eyes and I own you. That move like Jagger. I've got them
coverage of the NBL was brought to you by Bartercard.
That is a big wicket. New Zealand are back in it.
Bowling, a slower delivery, not picked. It's out, it is out. Nathan McCullum has his man. Here we go, should be out, and it is. Oh yes, that'll do it, all right.
Canterbury Wizards versus Proteas, Wednesday live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage brought to you by Mitre 10 Mega.
Check out February Skywatch. Each month we take a look at the must-see sporting events, along with Sky's huge selection of fantastic movie and entertainment highlights. All the very best in factual news, music, and loads of shows for the little ones. Also great giveaways, mouth-watering recipes from top chefs, and the latest from Sky. It's the only place for you to get sport and movie guides, plus daily listings for the entire month. All this and more inside, so make sure you don't miss out. Subscribe to Skywatch now.
We do have everything you need at an awesomely low price.
Petrol lawnmower 369, 4-shelf unit, $19.49. And if you happen to find a cheaper price on the same stocked item, we'll beat it by 15%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Imagine feeling at the top of your game every day. Barocca is a performance multi. Taken every day, it's clinically formulated for mental,
Queen to D4,
and physical performance. Barocca, suitable and recommended for daily use.
Success on the track doesn't start with the flag. It starts with the car and the crew. You need to work with people that you can trust to keep things running smoothly and safely, so you're free to focus on where you're going. It's all about trust, on the track or on the road. I couldn't do what I do without it.
For vehicle servicing and repairs you can trust, always look for the sign.
Have your kids ever seen Kiwi up close? These holidays at Rainbow Springs they can. As well as our nocturnal house, we have Kiwi encounter tours and an open-air nighttime enclosure. Rainbow Springs in Rotorua.
Where Kiwis play!
Choose the most beautiful way to say I love you. With a stunning sapphire and diamond gift set only $129. Or classic gold earrings were $129, now $69. Spoil her this Valentine's Day at Michael Hill.
Want to feel super? Unleash yourself. With no joining fee during February at Les Mills.
Room for two, please.
Okay.
Room for two. You can't choose your guests, but you can choose how you entertain them. Sky Guest Select gives your motel or hotel a decoder and over 50 channels in every room. With movies, sports and lots more, you could say it caters to all sorts. Sky, your happy place, and everyone else's.
We've come for the darkness, Jackie.
You want it? Come and get it. The Darkness 2, out now.
I told you, no girls.
Witness the unbelievable this March. This month, Sky Sports showcases rugby thrills, the finest football action at home and abroad, all the motorsport mayhem from the four corners of the globe, and our scorcher summer of cricket.
He's delighted with it.
Witness the unbelievable this March on Sky Sports.
Good day, everybody. What a day it is in Perth. Around about 36 degrees, glorious skies. We're ready for the third match in the Commonwealth Bank Series between the Australians and the Sri Lankans. The pitch looks good. The captains are alongside me, Michael Clark, Mahela Jayawardena, and Andy Pycroft from Zimbabwe, the match referee. All yours, Captain. Sri Lanka will bowl first, I think.
Yeah, we're going to. I mean, this one looks a fresh wicket, hasn't been used. Bit moisture as well. See whether we can get an advantage up front.
Is that because you didn't make the runs you wanted to the other night and you're uncertain of your batting?
Not really. I think, I felt that the wicket settled down a bit when the Indians were batting as well. And maybe, I don't know, it's not very sure about exactly what kind of total that you can post on this, whether to go hard front or not. But we'll see. I mean, it's something different that we need to try. It's the first few games in the tournament as well. See how we go.
All right, you've got one or two young faces on this tour. How do they react to appearing in Australia, this land of cricket?
Oh, they're excited. I mean, it's the same as when we first arrived to play in Australia. I think, it's a new experience for these lads. And, yeah, they're taking the challenge on, which is great. I think, Chandimal batted really well. Yeah, and Angelo's, back into full fitness. Hopefully, we can carry him through the entire tournament.
And you've got one new face playing tonight?
Yeah, we got the young off-spinner playing here today. We've given him an opportunity and see on this track. Sachit Ray is an exciting prospect for us.
Good luck today.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right. Michael Clark, good to see you.
Nice to be seen, Mark.
Nice to be able to be seen. You've had a few days just to chill, I guess.
A couple of days at home, which was nice, and then we got in here a couple of days ago for training. So the boys are in a pretty good spot. It was nice and warm yesterday as well, so hopefully we've all recovered and we're ready to go for today.
Having played so well in the test match here and understanding the modern Perth pitch, you must come here with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, look, I think our cricket of late has been really positive for the Australian team, whether that be 2020, one day and test cricket. So I think we're in a pretty good place as a team, but we know against this opposition we have to be at our best to win.
Now, we've all read the papers this morning and heard that Peter Forrest may play instead of David Warner. True or false?
Completely false. Same team as last game for us.
All right, so Davies at the top of the order with Matthew Wade. When you're in the nets practicing, do you talk about the switch hit, you guys?
Not really. I've spoken a little bit to Davey over the years about it, though. He's been able to play it for a long time, and he's obviously just pulled it out recently on the international stage. But he's a kid with amazing talent. He can bowl both hands, he can bat both hands, so hopefully he does the job left-handed today.
So you're not working on it yourself?
I won't be practicing it at this stage, Mark. No, I'll continue to play right-handed.
And nice and orthodox too.
I'll do my best.
All right, go well.
Thanks, Mark.
Let's have a look at the two teams that the captains have just swapped in front of the match referee. First, the Australians, pretty much as expected. As I say, there was that Peter Forrest rumour, but it's not so. David Warner is at the top of the order. And the Sri Lankans have that one change. Sachitra Senanayake coming into the side, the young off-spinner. An interesting point, I think, Jayawardena made, that all the young players come to Australia excited about the possibility of playing here. And I think that's the case all over the world. People come to Australia knowing that the sun, the pitches and everything's ready for the game of cricket. Waiting for us up in the commentary box, Tony Gregg was already there and on their way up, and with him now, I think, are Michael Slater and Ian Healy.
Thank you very much, Mark. Yes, this is always exciting when the current Australian